Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything coming at you with another Quatre update. Okay, I finished a few units since the last time that we did a video. I also did some work on the gaming mat, the battle mat that I'm making, and I'll explain that here in just a minute. But right here we've got the 11th and the 8th Currassiers. Those Currassier units are done, finished 100%. And then I've got the Dutch Belgian, the Belgian line infantry right here. They are finished. I'm waiting for the glue to dry so that I could block the bases. Because right now all I've done, I've gotten as far as painting all the figures and gluing them to their bases. Now I'm just waiting for that to dry so that I can paint the bases and then flock it. I've already attached the flag. That unit is 100% complete. Okay, we had our D&D game Wednesday night, and Adam was there, and he made a comment about how he wanted to go ahead and start helping painting the figures, which, as you know from my last video, I am not pressuring these guys to help, but he volunteered to help. And then Mike said that asked me if I was going to be available Saturday, which I am, to come down. And so they're both basically coming over Saturday afternoon. We're going to sit around the table. We're going to paint our hearts to our heart's content. But I only anticipate them staying for about 6 hours, so they're not going to accomplish much. But at least they'll have a unit or 2 or 3 units really begun. Okay, and then maybe if we do it again, we'll have those 2 or 3 units finished. And any help is better than no help. So I was actually thinking about maybe working on some of the terrain pieces that need to go on the table, but yeah, that can wait. That can wait till like May. So, and that could be one of the last things we do. So I'm going to hold off on that. All right. So after the Dutch, I keep calling them Dutch Belgians because that's how it's labeled in Napoleon's battles, but really that's a Belgian line unit. I've got some Dutch militia. I think I might jump in on that. I've got some Nassau troops, but I don't think I want to jump in on that. I got the Brunswick cavalry. I probably could jump in on that. Could do some British. I think the Brunswick cavalry might be a good thing to start Adam on, because he's not a really great painter, and they're almost all black. So if we just paint them, prime them black, and then he can go in and do some touch-ups. We'll see. So just to get him started, just to learn him how to paint. And plus, he could probably knock those out. Actually, it's a small unit, so like eight models. So we might be able to get that knocked out. Okay, so now I want to talk about the mat. This is not it. This is a Games Workshop map. But I have a map that I've been working on. And as you know, it's a 6 foot wide by like 9 foot. It's 6 by 9 tarp. We were aiming for a 4 by 8 table, so I had only put a 4 by 8 piece of terrain in the middle of the map. The convention director that told me about our table said we're going to get a 6 by 8 table, so it's extra foot on a side basically, which that's awesome. So what I'm going to do is what I've already done is I took the tarp and I spray painted the 6 inches that was all the way around the outer edges, or was it a foot? I mean, there was quite a bit around the entire outer edges. I spray painted those in, camouflage, basically just variety of different field colors. And then I went back over it and I flocked it. I painted directly onto the canvas with the Elmers and then flocked it. I don't know if that's going to hold up as well as the center 4x8. But that's okay, because that's only the outer edges, and that's not the main battlefield area. So, but it'll look great because the flock and the spray and everything, it looks really good. I need to show you guys that on a future video. I'm definitely going to lay it out. But I had to roll it up because of our D&D game that we were going to play. So it's actually rolled up under there in a plastic painter's tarp. So okay, I think that's where we're at. So figure-wise, I started painting on the 1st of February, right? The 1st of February. And I've painted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 units and a cannon. Okay. Well, that's if today was the 24th, which is not, it's the 23rd. That would have been a unit every other day. A unit every other day. It takes me about 3 days to do a unit, to be honest. But sometimes I do, like the Currassiers, I did 2 units at the same time. So in 3 days, I actually got 2 units knocked out. The Belgians, I only did 1 unit. And it took me 3 days. So it averages out to about a unit every other day. And I got to make sure, for me to meet that, I have to do, what do you call it? I have to paint pretty much every day. I'm painting every day, probably 3 or 4 hours a day to get this done. Because I know I've committed to doing Quatre, and 12 units is not enough. What did I say I needed? Like 60 units? But 2 units a day, I should get that done in a month, right? So by the 1st, I'm not going to have 60 units done. It's not going to happen. So, but I'll just keep trudging on, and we'll see what we get. I don't know what I want to do next, though. I'm going to save those Hussars, or the Uhlans, probably. I'm going to save the Uhlans for Adam to do this weekend. The Brunswickers. I'll probably do some more. Well, I've got those Hanoverans, too. I got some Hanoverans. Oh, and I'm still waiting for Perry to send me my other half of my unit box. He sent me a parcel that says 1 of 2 boxes, but I only got the first box, and I still haven't got the second box, and it's been a few days now, so I don't know what's going on with the mail. Or, this is kind of what I'm thinking in the back of my mind, is that they didn't send the second box. They plan on sending a second box when they get it ready. And if that's the case, okay, that's fine. But I still need to get my militia command converted into militia infantry. I have some French. I have some cavalry out the wazoo. I got some Dutch-Belgian cavalry. Maybe I should do that. I don't know. Well, I'm thinking. Oh, yeah. One more thing before I let you go. I just recorded the tutorial video number 5, which is the hand-to-hand combat video. I had to do that actually like 3 times, and it's pretty long. So it's like a 30-minute video, and I'm going to edit it down to about 30 minutes probably. But the first time I did it, it took me like an hour and a half to do it, and I was talking to myself and moving figures and saying things that didn't need to be said in a tutorial video. It was like, I was I don't know where my mind was. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna screw it. I'm gonna start over and do this all over. So the second time I did it, it went a lot faster because I pretty much knew what I wanted to say already. So it's good to rehearse, I think, some of these things, but it still didn't feel right. Like I was either missing something or I was saying things that didn't need to be said. So I did it a third time, and the third time it only took me about 30 minutes, I think, to film it. I'll have to go back and look at my video. And I got everything in there and everything knocked out. And hopefully I didn't miss anything. That's a problem. But if you're planning on coming down to the convention and you plan on playing in our game, the Quatre game, please watch these tutorials. One thing, it'll help you understand how we play black powder. So your group might play it a little differently than our group, and if I'm getting something, if I, one of the reasons why I'm doing this tutorial is to make sure that people like yourself, if you haven't ever played, or even if you have played, at least you can see how our gaming group plays, and you'll know what's expected of us, like when we do a charge, or when we do a shooting, or a break test, or commanders, or things like that, so you'll know. When I finish the tutorial in black powder, which I'm pretty close to finishing it actually, when I finish the tutorial on black powder, I'm going to do another tutorial on Albion Triumphant, because it has additional rules and troop types that are in addition to the rules for black powder. So it'll be kind of like, this is basic tutorial, that'll be an advanced tutorial. But I need to do it because it's the 100 Days battle in Quatre Bras. So looking forward to Quatre Bras, looking forward to the convention. We already got our room. We got, Mike did that today. He reserved our room, so we were guaranteed the room. And that's about it. So I don't remember what our room number is, but I don't think you guys need to know that. Just come out and check us out on the table. All right, guys. You guys have a great night, and I look forward to seeing you down at NashCon this year, June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And it's going to be at the Marriott in Cool Springs. And catch you next time.